So this is a game I've never played before. It is the Stanley Parable. As you can tell, it tells me right there what I'm doing. And it was given to me by one of my lovely mods. I know very little about it. Sorry, I'm eating because I didn't get lunch yet. So I'm gonna go right into it. Aha! He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons. Which buttons do I push? Can't open that door.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Thank you for the host, Flapjack! Got it!
Perhaps he had simply missed a level. No matter how hard Stanley looked,
so
he couldn't
loud,
find
by
a
the way.
trace of his co-workers.
Can I zoom? Manual zoom doesn't work. All the doors are locked! Ah. It opens both ways. This is not a door. Not a secure door, anyway.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do I, though? Yeah, I probably should. I feel like there's gonna be death. Serial killer. Active shooter. Shit. Thank you for all the follows. If I'm missing them, I'm sorry.
Yet
Thank
there
you.
was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Thank you,
Stanley
Mad
decided
Snake
to go
Blaze,
up to his
for the follow.
boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Synergize core value expenditures. Shift global market parade. Is that parade? That graph is covering it up. I'm disappointed with that pie graph. Broom closet. So this is what you meant.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Yes, but I want something. I want to get in that bucket and
There
roll
was
around the
nothing
hallways.
here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No
Yeah, but-
reason to still be here.
There's tools and shit. I might need these. I want that spanner.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At
love the
least if there was
narration.
something to
Thank you,
interact
lunatic.
with, he'd be justified in
Ginge.
some way.
The follow.
As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Love it. Does he get more angry if you stay in there longer? That's amazing. He's...
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I don't like the red light.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing
Thank you,
his
Mad
boss,
Snake, please.
admitting he had
Mad Snake,
left his
please.
post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense.
Or
And as
maybe there
Stanley
was a
pondered
memo I
this,
missed.
he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet
Shit!
when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is too strange, this can't be real. And at last,
this is
he
awesome.
came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Oh my gosh, this is
Then
amazing.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical star field, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Right?
Now the voice was
awesome in a
describing
dream, though.
itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one.
Thank you, Tony T108 for the follow.
He thought to himself. I'm through with this dream.
Close your eyes all the way.
I wish
That would
it
help.
to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want my apartment and my wife and my job.
He's married?
All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
What's his wife's name?
My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Like Brenda Parable?
I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Shit. Had an aneurysm.
This is the story of a woman named Marietta.
What? This is his wife.
Marietta woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk.
Fuck.
And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
Oh, yeah.
The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she
it's been like
ran.
2 minutes. This is a great game so far. I'm really enjoying this. I can't answer the... There's a call waiting!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I gotta do it till I get it right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Dang it, I didn't go through the right one the last time.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is that the lounge? Oh, this is the lounge. Oh, this is nice. Shit.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
I wish I could drink in all that coffee.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so
That's a
utterly
beautiful
captivating
picture.
that even though all your co-workers
Oh
have
my
mysteriously vanished,
So
here
lifelike.
you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really
yeah.
worth it.
Oh, that's a legal pad. We use those for notes. That exact brand.
At this
Oh my
point,
gosh.
Stanley's obsession
So
with this room
lifelike.
bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible
Fuel.
that this is why everyone left.
I hate Mondays. I hate Mondays. That's a new mug. I want to see what that mug says.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue. But when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to
Those lights
send him
are
a
cool.
message.
It's so fourth wall breaking. I love it. All right.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room
was
and
amazing.
took the first open door on his left
Thank you,
to get
Marietta.
back to business.
But
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago.
I love it. Slide rule. I want a cardboard tube. What's all this hose doing around? Will cause death. Penalty for jumping. It will cause death, but they will still charge you $6,000.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your
elevator and a
trust in
crane?
someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time.
I want to jump off so bad.
There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince
Had an
you of
aneurysm
this,
last
but
time, you
I really
asked.
do want to help you, to show you something beautiful.
What are you gonna show me? My
Let me
insides?
prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
No. No. I don't want to go through that door. This has a key card, but I want to go through this. I don't like red doors. They mean bad things. I think I'm gonna Gandalf it. The air doesn't smell so
thank
foul
God
down
you
here.
are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have
Thank you
wanted
for
to
the
be happy all
follow,
this time?
Fraxios.
The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now.
Oh my
Don't
gosh,
you
it's a
see that it's
circle.
killing us, Stanley?
No.
I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
No. I don't think he's gonna say anything. Thank you for the follow, Alan377. I don't like this narrator.
What do we want? What are we looking for?
Oh boy. Is it a theater? Is it a projector? No, it's three-dimensional because the points of light move. Oh my gosh.
Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this
Holy
place,
shit.
Stanley, I think I feel happy.
It's so cool,
I
but I'm
actually
going over here.
feel happy. No, wait. Where are you going?
I love the textures and the realism and everything.
Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Really? If I die?
No, Stanley, let
The
me
game will
stay here.
reset?
Don't take this from me. Oh, thank God.
Do I have a
you
limp now?
lived. You had me worried there. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this?
So...
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God.
I want to die.
Is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
What happens if I go back down the steps? Nope. Yep. I'm gonna throw myself off again. Make it end! Ah!
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
I love how all the rust patterns on these are exactly the same. And the change in paint color. Dang it.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
I'm going back.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge. Stanley was so bad at following directions.
Gosh, I forgot about that option up there too. Shit! This is like fractals.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. Please. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Let me prove that I'm on your side. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating. Stanley walked through the red door.
Red door. Oh my gosh, this narrator is amazing.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me.
Aw, shit! It still exists! Dang it! I'm sorry, guys.
All of his co-workers were gone.
Whoa!
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Pencil sharpener.
Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Maybe it did.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years ago. Stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her.
Her? It's a crack.
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I don't like these dark rooms. It's impossibly dark in there.
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Ah, those plugs. What?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha. Oh, come on.
Let me out of here.
Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
That's creepy. She just slid around the corner. Where'd she go? No, no, no.
Sorry,
No!
but you're in my story now.
Shit. Open the door. Please, please, 426, open the door. Open the door! 425, no. Dang it, I don't want to go in there with that thing. Ah! Move the chair.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
No. No. No.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of
Thank
his
you,
existence.
Leon Gods. Oh no.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might
Thank
even
you,
feel
Catherine.
sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
I will enjoy the game, thank you. Enjoy your
But in
Saturday.
his mind, in his mind, he can go on fantastic
Thank you, Dr.
adventures.
Craw,
From
for the
behind
follow.
his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly. So he went further. He imagined that he came to two open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice.
I've been looking
It
around.
barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible
keeps changing.
paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind
refrigerators.
controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there
Shit.
possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly
Thank
killing
you,
himself.
But
he won't listen to me. He won't stop.
Brain stew
Here,
for the follow.
watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it. You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And
Weird.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, Stanley was so bad at following direction. Do you have zero consideration for others? Stanley walked through the red door.
Oopsie. It's glitching out a bit.
Stanley walked through the red door. Stanley walked through the red door.
Oh, Trixie.
All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I'd written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already
It's wooden.
feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
And the very bottom one is going to be me, right? Yes! Objectively ranked last in the world. 9,328. I love it so much. King of Combat, thank you for the follow.
That competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors. Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you?
It's
Perfect.
Like
Let me boot it up.
And something else creepy. Hello, son.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail.
What?
It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world
my
will
mouse do
really
that?
take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Whoa. That alarm is terrible. It will make you do it for 4 hours? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I don't think I can do it for 4 hours, guys. Sorry. Alright.
You heartless bastard.
I tried.
Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me.
Thank you, Blue Jelly Bean,
I'm
for
not even
following.
going to try. I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game, just to ease the pain? Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Oh my gosh!
Is this any better? At last,
how is this legal?
I've always desired. A game I had absolutely nothing to do with. But is it enough? Tell me that, Stanley. Will it ever be enough? Well, I'll say this. I'm done making things for you. From now on, I will only create to fulfill a greater artistic purpose. Watch this, Stanley. I'm going to build a house. This will go here. No, here. And then... Let's see, what does it need? Yes, of course. And just to finish it all off, yes, it's complete. I made this, Stanley. Look at it. Gaze upon my work of art and feel ashamed at your own inadequacy. But you've only seen it from the outside. You've only gotten half the experience. Please, step inside and make yourself comfortable.
Let me out. Let me jump. I can crouch? Holy shit, I didn't know I could crouch.
Isn't it grand? Isn't it perfect? It could only be better if... Wait, that's it. We must rebuild it out of diamond. Diamond everything. Yes, yes, yes. Come along, Stanley. We have to go mining.
Oh my gosh. I can only go down levels.
Oh my, it looks like it's going to get a bit dark. Have you brought a light?
Mushrooms! Shit, I'm hungry.
Oh, no, 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 no. This is far more open-ended than I had in mind. I'm looking for something more narrow and linear. Something that makes you feel utterly irrelevant. This won't do at all. 1 out of 5. Even the diamonds couldn't save this one. Okay, new game.
What?
Yes!
Oh my gosh.
I don't even know what this game is, but I love it.
I mentioned Portal before.
You, trapped in a glass box with no way out, listening to me talk. Oh, it's inspired. I couldn't have done it any better myself. What is this game even supposed to be? I can't figure it out. Okay, now I'm curious.
Aperture
Let's
Laboratories.
go find out what the hell this is.
This is amazing. I'll take the music with me.
Oh, it's a puzzle. Critical thinking, Stanley. Your forte. Genius. No, actually, you know what? I think that's plenty.
Dang it.
I really don't care much to see you stumble
No.
through any more of these games.
Got my music. Shit! It's not playing! Work! That's a ledge. So is that. Dang it! Huh? Oh my gosh. Shit, this looks familiar. What? Is this Wolfenstein or something? Dang it, this looks familiar. Man, this is kind of dark. Wait. 427. I'm going down the hall towards my office, aren't I? Yep. Whoa. This office is freaking sweet, though.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Oh, source mod of Stanley Parable. Okay. Because I recognized the textures and stuff, but I couldn't place what game it was from. That makes sense.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.